welcome to MoreBikes.co.uk. You join us for a bit of a tyre review. We're doing this in the studio because I wanted to show you the actual tyres in a bit more detail than you would see if we were just bombing around on motorcycles. And the tyres in question are these are the Avon Trailriders. Now, I've been on the world launch of these. We went to Germany, rode down into Austria, and on those we rode on bikes like the R1200 GS BMW, the Suzuki V-Strom 1000, you know the type of bikes. And I have to say, these are one of my favourite tyres. I give these a straight 9 out of 10. The only reason I don't give them 10 out of 10 is because I give very few things in life 10 out of 10. But for a tyre, I don't think you're going to get much better than these. Quick run through of them. If you're looking for a tyre and you're in the market with an Anarchy or a Torrance, that's where Avon aimed this tyre at. They were pretty new to the range. Avon spent a lot of time developing these on UK roads. There's some tyre development in Europe as well, but predominantly British roads that these were designed on, which means that if you ride a lot on British roads, and no doubt you do because you're watching MoreBikes.co.uk, then these tyres will really suit the type of roads that you head out on. Now, split-wise, these are what Avon refer to as a 90-10 split. That's 90% of this tyre will spend of its life on the road, and it has a 10% off-road capability. It looks quite chunky. You can see the tyre tread, and it looks chunky, but on the move, it feels just like a great road tyre. It has some off-road capability. If you want to go down a fairly smooth track, it will do it no problem at all. Let's be honest, most people who ride around on an R1200 GS or a V-Strom or any of those types of motorcycles, you spend most of your time on the road. So it's important to get that stability in the tyre. The Trailriders come in a range of sizes. They've just gone up to a 120/70/19 and a 170/60/17. They're the larger, newer sizes that a lot of the manufacturers have gone for. And these tyres are now incorporated into that range as well. Price-wise, you're going to be looking just under £200. Shop around, lots of deals out there, of course, but the Avon Trailrider is the thing to ask for. In terms of how they feel when you ride, they're great. Don't take any time at all to warm up. Very stable. And on the launch, as I said, we went from Germany, Munich, and we dropped down into Austria. And when we went down into Austria, I have to say that the speeds really went up. We did a lot of fast riding out there on the roads, perfectly stable, lots of grip, very predictable. One of my most favourite tyres that I've ridden on, certainly on the upright bikes. So when we went on the world launch, as I said, we went from Germany into Austria, really fast roads, really fast riding. These tyres take no time at all to heat up, loads of grip initially, and when you're leant over as well, lots of feedback from the tyre. Stability-wise, when you're bolt upright and you're really stonking along, or even if you're just doing fairly steady miles in sort of touring phase, great tyre. You feel what the road's doing, you get loads of feedback, lots of grip. Really recommend these to you. Because they're Avon and they've had this UK development, a lot of the other technologies and development traits, if you will, that we've seen in other Avon tyres like 3D Extremes and XMs and things like that and Ultras, carry over onto these tyres. I'll show you what I mean because we have a cut section here of these tyres. Now, you can see that the profile of the front is quite rounded, nice and stable, lots of shoulder feedback, like I say. And in here, you have the steel belt construction around the edges of the tyre. It's also steel belt is wound over the carcass of the tyre. Now, the steel belt is wound and more narrow winding in the middle of the tyre, and that expands. So there's more gap in the steel belt effectively as it goes out to the corners of the tyre. That's because at speed a tyre can deform, it can actually expand, and the steel holds it in position, means it's much more stable. But the gaps in between the steel winding as you roll over allow the tyre to move. That gives you the grip, gives you the feedback, and that combines with the multiple compounds in many tyres. But Avon use that technology. Another technology that they use are the 3D sipe technology. Now you can just see that on the edges of the tyres here. These are they look like cuts in the tyre when you just look at them first off. But what you actually find with the 3D sipe technology is that they're like interlocking teeth or fingers. So as you roll over onto the corner of the tyre comes together, as you can imagine, and the teeth interlock. So it interlocks, that effectively gives you that area of grip, heightened grip as you go over. Then you come back up, the sipes open up. That means the tyre doesn't get too hot. It also means it's got better longevity, and of course you get that extra grip when you go over onto the side. It sounds like a gimmick, it is not a gimmick. This stuff really works. and Avon include the 3D sight technology in most of their range. So that's it for the Avon Trailrider tyre. Loads of UK development, now available in more sizes, pretty new to the range. I've ridden these at pace and doing some big miles across Germany and Austria, and I've got to say, one of my favourite tyres of all time. If you've got a G1200, if you've got a GS1200, if you've got a V-Strom, that type of motorcycle, and you're in the market, maybe you're looking at a Turrence or an Anarchy or something like that, consider the Avon Trailrider. Under £200, shop around, you'll probably be able to find a deal on them. Speak to Avon if you want to find your local dealer, they'll be able to help you out, no problem at all. Just before we go though, we have a bit of a sneak for you. This is the Trailrider tyre. That's as much as we can show you at the moment because this is a proper secret thing. This is the Trailrider. This is a 90% on-road, 10% off-road tyre, the Trailrider. The Trailrider is the new one from Avon. Uses a lot of the same technology as the Trailrider. It's got a bigger, more knobbly tread, as you can imagine. Like I say, we can't show you too much of it, but this is a 50/50 tyre. So for those of you who are going out and doing a bit more green laning than most people do on the larger adventure bikes, this is the tyre for you. It will be out in about a month's time or so. We'll bring you more news on that when it appears, but this is the Trailrider from Avon. Keep an eye open for that. But for now, concentrate people on the Trailrider from Avon. Great tyre, under £200. Have a shop around, and you can't go better than that for the adventure style bikes that spend a lot of time on their road. Highly recommended, a 9 out of 10. That's it. Thanks for watching More Bikes. Stay tuned for plenty more.